Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. I know, Luke on a Monday, must be half term. I did say that I'll try and get a couple more videos out this week, purely because I've got a bit more time to make them. I've put a tweet out. If you want to come on, it's your show today. I'd like to, give me some reasons why it's time for West Ham to keep believing, as long as you're clean, you keep it clean, keep your language clean. I want a lot of people to come on today, hopefully. One guy's lined up already. He's going to be coming on. I'm going to send him the link now. You guys might know him. He's quite a prominent tweeter online. His name's Andy. Yeah, please, if you want to come on, guys, just DM me on Twitter. You know what it is, at the Free Hammers. Send me a DM. I'll send you the link to the StreamYard. And you can come on and have a chat with me. And I would love to, have a more interactive chat with you guys. Actually, talk to you in person, which would be great. There's a lot of good news out there today. Obviously, there's the talk of Declan Rice getting a new contract. We're coming off the back of, 4 games undefeated. And there's some real good positivity about the club at the minute. It looks like the team's getting coached well, which is good. It looks like every player knows what they're meant to be doing. There's some good competition on the bench. And these are all things that I like to see. As I say, if you want to come on, guys, and I would love for as many people as possible to come on today. I've always wanted to do a sort of talk sporty formatty show for the West Ham fans. And it's something that I would love to do. It looks like we may have some more here as well. It's good stuff. I'm just replying. There's a few tweets coming in now, which is good. So I'm going to send him the link. So that's going to be good. We're going to have a few people on. Please come on. Please come on. Please. I want to talk to you guys. Well, you don't have to show your face for Sheezy. You can not share the camera if you want. But it would be nice to have you on. I'm just waiting. I've sent the link out for people now, so I'm waiting for them to click on it. Hi all. Can't come on, Luke, as I'm working, but we'll be listening and responding as much as I can. Great to see JP on. JP's been on a couple of times as well. It's always good to have him on. Talk some good sense. I'd love to have, like I say, this is the first sort of trial of this. The only person who's ever been on before is a guy called Jamie Gill. He come on one of my shows before. And we had a real good talk about West Ham a few months back. But I would love, for this to become a regular thing where you come on, you talk what your views are, and we argue, we agree on things. And I think that creates a better conversation and better viewing for you guys. Because sometimes I do miss the comments because they do go so fast. So we're waiting to see if anyone does come on. Sometimes I do. Anyway, looking back, over the last sort of what's the season been on now? Sort of 7 weeks, 8 weeks now. You've got to say that we are above expectation at the moment. For me, I thought we'd be lucky if we got 3-4 points. Here we go. We've got Andy on. So let's bring Andy in. Andy, mate, a pleasure to finally have a guest on the show. You are live, mate, on YouTube. How's it going, mate? Can you hear me, Andy?
Luke, sorry, mate. Don't know what's happening. One sec, Luke.
That's all right, mate. Yep, right. So there's Andy. He'll be back on in a minute. Like I say, very vocal on Twitter. Always tags us on Twitter. He'll be coming on to see what he's got to say. He's very, very vocal GSB out guy. So be nice to get him on. Please, yeah, send in your questions as well, because I can give them to the people that are calling in. Yeah, some of these people I've never met before, but it'd be nice, to get some interaction going with these people. Andy's IT cues kicking in. Do you feel Cresswell in England? Do you feel Cresswell and Antonio, if you fit in, will be selected for the next English squad? Maybe Antonio, maybe, but I think he likes the younger players. Cresswell too old. I like Cresswell, and I would love to see him getting a chance, but I just can't see it, mate. Right, we've got James now, so I'm going to let James come in. James, how's it going, mate?
Good, how you doing?
Pleasure to have you on, mate. Absolute pleasure. Yeah, what do you want to say, mate? Is it time to start believing? What do you think about West Ham so far this season?
It's been a pleasant surprise, actually, given that usually at the start of the season by now we're struggling near the relegation zone. So I think it's been a pleasant surprise. If you'd have told me, just based on look at the fixture list, if you'd have just told me that we were going to take 8 points from within 4 games, I would never have believed you. Because I think we started off the season incredibly badly against Newcastle, picked up again a bit against Arsenal, worked on the Arsenal performance, and then were consistent since then. 4-0 win over Wolves, Leicester. Both teams were exceptional last season. Drawing against Manchester City, and also that 3-late comeback against Spurs. I think the momentum's really with us right now. We seem to have a system in place. The confidence is flowing. Moyes has got the best out of the players as well, and we just need to make it continue. It's not necessarily a case to say you should count your chickens just yet, but it's good for now. Definitely,
mate. Definitely. Who's been your star performer at the moment? Who's your favourite player to watch at West Ham at the moment?
I wouldn't limit it really just to one player, but I think there's been a lot of improved players so far this season. One player that's really been improved is Aaron Cresswell. I think he's been a lot more consistent with his performances. He's been less error-prone as he was last season. Another player who's really stepped up a little bit is Pablo Fornals. I think he gets slated. He gets slated quite a lot by the fans, but you can tell he's still a very hard-working player. I think he just needs a little bit of help with finishing and a little bit of help with taking his chances. But other than that, it's the stuff he's doing in the build-up and the connection he's got with the players. Obviously, Declan Rice has never put a foot wrong, and as a captain, he's looking really good as a young leader. Souček's complementing Rice because one's defending and one's being the attacking-minded player. And also, Jarrod Bowen's really stepped up this season. He looks like the box-to-box winger we need. And the other player that one is Sofal, who looks a bargain signing, solid right back.
I think Masuaku as well, mate. One you missed out there. Masuaku, I think he's found his position now at left wing back.
Yeah.
Some of the best feet and tricks I've seen from a West Ham player for a long time. Really, really good player.
Yeah, sorry I missed him out. Actually, he's feel bad about that, but no, he's a good wing. He's a good player right now. He's always been a player that's been, I think, a bit hit or miss depending on the manager. Bilic definitely likes using Masuaku. Moyes is now starting to use Masuaku in the team as the left wing back position. It's something that suits Masuaku very well because he can be responsible for his defensive duties and then go on the wing when needed. You see the way he's linking up with players like Fornals and the way
share the ball with each other.
Yeah, Man City particularly, he was good. I mean, where he cleared Mahrez's shot in the nick of time. He's got good spatial awareness. He's just very good on the ball. He's made that position his own in a way.
Definitely. So going forward, obviously Liverpool the weekend. Can we hurt them in any way? Are they as dangerous as you think?
Not this season, no. I think Liverpool, since the Van Dijk injury, there's a big gap in their defence. Everyone's raving about the Van Dijk injury. I've seen what Everton fans said about that. Even Liverpool fans were fearing the worst about him. Liverpool's defence has taken a knock without Van Dijk. Alisson might be back in goal for the game, but he's just the last line. The biggest concern I think we have with Liverpool is their top three: Mane, Firmino, and Salah.
Salah's just on fire at the moment as well, isn't he? Just unbelievable at the minute.
Yeah, and they've got probably the best attacking three that I've seen in the Premier League in a long time. So I think if we're going to end up getting something against Liverpool, we've got to nullify that attack. The issue here is that I think for Liverpool is that, like I said, they lack a little bit of intensity. I mean, I know they beat Sheffield United, but they didn't look as energetic and as pacey as they did last season. I think if we just stick to a plan and keep it tight like we did against Man City, we can get something out of the game. But we've no need to fear these teams anymore. It's been a weird season. And
any changes you would make? Any changes you would make to the team going into the Liverpool game?
It depends actually on the Antonio situation. I'm not sure if the injury reports come back yet, but
not yet, mate. I don't think. Yeah.
If that is so that he's going to be sidelined with a hamstring injury, what I would do is I'd actually put Haller in there. Moyes seems to be against using Haller, but if you put Haller in there, it's going to change up your system a little bit. You could have Benrahma and instead to add a bit more flair to it, and maybe add Bowen in. So he's got two pacey players that can add attacking senses.
I've got a question for you. I was asked this yesterday. It was a really tough question. For Ben Rama to come in, obviously someone has to come out. Who would come out for you?
In this Moyes system, I can see Ben Rama playing on the wing, and the player that would probably have to come out is Fornals. Having said that, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And Fornals right now is playing well. It would have to take Fornals to have a series of bad performances for Ben Rama to solidify that starting place.
Are you excited about seeing Ben Rama? I'm very excited to see him, I have to say.
I am, yeah. I think he's going to be a gem of a player to have. It was a painful process in getting him. It stressed me out a hell of a lot, but we finally got him.
Definitely.
The most important thing is that he's now.
He was the player I wanted the most. I know that's a bit of controversial because a lot of West Ham fans were like, "We don't need him, don't need him." But when we were linked right back in July, it was like, "This is one guy I want to bring in, the most exciting player in the Championship for me."
Yeah, I think as well, him and Bowen actually at one point were both two very exciting Championship players, and they're now both at West Ham. I mean, and just a little side note, the good thing about these two players is they've actually kept 2 record signings on the bench as well. So it kind of emphasises Moyes' philosophy on working hard and having less flary players. Back to what you were saying, though, Ben Rama is the technically gifted, versatile player who can play in 3 different positions. He can go up front as a holding striker, number 10, or on the wing. But I think in the Moyes system, where he's playing one up top, Ben Rama probably suits best on the wing.
Definitely. Last question I'm going to ask you, James, before I let Andy in and let you go. Right now, where do you think we will finish in the league? And I'll probably ask you again if you come on again at some point in the next few months.
I probably will come on again at some
Good,
point.
It's great to have you on, mate. You're the first ever person.
No, don't worry. Like I said, it's a bit too early to call, but I'm going to say if we can finish anywhere between 10th and, say, 14th, we'll be fine. I don't want to say top half finish yet because I think Moyes needs to stabilise the team first before we can even consider ourselves to be in the top 10. We need to get that stabilisation going. He's right to do what he's doing with his system, but so far it's looking good. But come May, we can get a definite answer.
Definitely. Thanks a lot, mate, for coming on. Hopefully you'll come along soon. Come on again soon. Cheers for coming on, mate. Take it easy.
Thank you very much.
See you later, mate. Andy, nice to finally meet you, mate. And you've always tagged in your tweets, mate. It's nice to actually put a proper face to the tweets.
You know, you enjoying your time off?
Yes, mate. Yes, got a few more days off now with half term. So this show, mate, today, is it time to start believing? How do you feel about the club so far this season?
I feel positive. I feel positive, mate. I think the whole team is just working for one another, which we've not had in a few years. Probably the last time we probably saw it was the last year at the Boleyn, in my opinion. I think the main realization of the team is the fact that we've not just got a team of individuals no more. We've got a team of everyone who just wants to work for one another. And I think I was Ogbonna and Cresswell's biggest hypocrite at the start of the last season, and now they're probably one of our 2 key players.
Cresswell is like undroppable at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is, and I think like a few channels have said as well, and I think that's the reason he was more of the scapegoat for the excuses of why we're playing so bad. But when you had the likes of Felipe Anderson not helping him out, obviously he was exposed. But Masuaku, for me, has been our player of the season so far. He's just helping him out, and the fact that we've just got legs in the centre midfield. I think the last time we had legs in centre mid was probably Nigel Reo-Coker and Hayden Mullins. That's probably how far back.
He used to have a bit of legs, didn't he?
But I mean, as a duo, I have him too.
As a duo, I can't remember who asked me it the other day. They said, are they the best 2? So there are better individuals. Yeah. But are they the best 2 in the Premier League at the minute? What about for you, mate? Can you think of a better partnership?
The only one I can think of is probably Thiago and Henderson.
Yeah,
probably. I think apart from that, there's no real match for them. And I think the fact is, they get goals and they defend. There's probably since Souček's come in, there's probably the amount of goals and the mileage what they've put up for all of them is just.
He's just a nuisance as well, Souček. You know, that comparison with Fellaini is such a good comparison. Such a nuisance in the air. He don't lose a head up.
No, he doesn't. And I think the main buzz what I've got about him is he just makes it look so easy.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like that. And the best thing what I've liked is about Antonio is he doesn't chase lost causes. If he don't think he's going to get it, he doesn't and saves his energy. But I was just chatting with my mate this morning, and it's just an idea. If Moyes doesn't like Haller and we want to sort of keep the pace, potentially maybe we could put Ryan Fraser in that right wing role and put Bowen in the centre. Just if we're going to play him on the counter, do you know what I mean? And then we've got a bit of pace, and maybe Fredericks can cause a bit of nuisance to Robinson and help him.
I always thought he could go with Yarmolenko up front as like an Arnie sort of style player. Like obviously he's not as mobile as Arnie was, but he's very similar with the hold-up play and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just something I'm throwing out there.
Yeah, no, Yarmolenko obviously.
It was terrible the weekend. He could have got subbed off the weekend.
But did you see? We didn't realise a lot of people have stepped back. He actually had a baby yesterday, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah, so his missus or wife, whoever, had a baby yesterday, and they announced that. So maybe that's the reason. Maybe he was a bit off the pace. So I've sort of let him off. But the main positive, what I want to talk about, mate, is from Saturday. Last season, we would have thrown that away in that second half, and the way Antonio walked off the pitch, I don't think it's as bad. But I would. If he don't feel 100%, I wouldn't play him on Saturday.
Yeah, I think Liverpool game now is a bit of a free hit. You know, it doesn't matter if we lose, to be honest with you, because we're probably ahead of our points target, aren't we, a little bit? So, I reckon Antonio's probably just gone, do you know what? I'm a bit experienced. I know that feeling. I've had that before. I'm going to come off. So, yeah, if we don't need to risk him, I wouldn't, because I think we could destroy Fulham with a fit Antonio in there.
Yeah, no, and I like you said, the ones I commented on your thing yesterday, we've got to beat the teams around us. It doesn't matter if we get the wins. There's no point if we then muck up and lose to Fulham or draw to Fulham. They're the games we should be winning. But like I said, mate, I think Moyes and the backroom staff do deserve a lot of credit.
100%, mate, massive credit.
And I think they've all put their sleeves up. Obviously, Ben Rama and Soufal have been great additions, but us as West Ham fans would have liked a lot more. But the fact that they didn't come in, I think they've sort of said it's just on us, to be honest. And I think the players have stepped up. And I've never really seen that side of Declan Rice being more of a leader. He knows he's the captain now. Do you know what I mean? At the start of last season, he was a bit of they've sort of gave the cap. I'm not saying he didn't mean nothing to him, but you know what I mean. Now
a constant thing that kept coming up over the last sort of 5 years since we've been in that stadium is leaders. I look on the pitch now, and you'd say, Bonner's a leader, Souček's a leader, Rice is a leader. You could say Antonio leads by example. Yeah. So now you look on that pitch like, there's winners there. There's people that actually want to play for the shirt, which it's been missing a long time. It's been missing a hell of a long time.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, we've always had good goalkeepers, which has been which you expect. And Fabianski had a great game again on Saturday. But the fact that solid spine, the only change I would make for Liverpool is put Prindile back in, just more because of his pace. Because you know what Liverpool's front three are like, and them running off. But no, I thought we were really short on options. But like you said, the real test would be if we get any injuries.
That's it, mate. Yeah, because they've even got Jota as well. So if Mane or Salah was to come off, that Jota's a good player as well. He scored a couple of goals from already, and he's another dangerous one. So what do you make of the Rice contract stuff? Do you think that might secure him for another year? Obviously, today it's come out that they're going to double his wages, apparently to 120 grand a week. Rightly so, for me. Yeah. Does that hold him, do you think? Or for me personally, I think if he has a good Euros, he's gone. I think like his price tag will just rocket if he has a good Euros.
I think X and Dave were mentioning it as well. If Chelsea are not having a good season and he knows he's going into that centre back role, I can't see him going. To be honest, I think the only place I could see him go apart from that is Man City. I don't think he'll go Man United, and the only way he'll go is probably to go in centre midfield with De Bruyne. Really, that's the only two places. But even if he has a good Euros, I think he's a very loyal person. To be honest, I don't think he'll just leave. If we're offering him 120
if we
grand a week,
progression, I think as well. I think if there's a bit of progression there, we didn't buy many players. We bought okay. That's no credit to Golden Sullivan at all. It's just that Moyes has identified Soufal. Souček come in, Bowen's come in. They're all players that can go into the first 11. That's all I've ever wanted. When you buy a player, I want someone that can go in that first 11. Yeah. If we keep doing that, then maybe, if the takeover happens, maybe, there's all these maybes.
Yeah. No, I think Josh King's the one to go and get in January, in
Definitely,
my opinion.
100%, mate. 100%.
You never know with David Sullivan what he's like. He's probably got that sorted already, but
I hope
obviously
so.
nothing. Obviously, if they couldn't get it over the line, like you said, it'll be in his last 6 months of his contract. I don't even think Bournemouth will take 10 million instead of.
I think the only thing with it is competition potentially with Everton. Yeah. Maybe someone like Everton might sniff around him again. And Man United were looking at him last summer. I'm not saying they will sign him, but you never know. Ollie might go, oh, actually, do you know what? I want another Norwegian in here. Get him in. Yeah. It's just the competition for me. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, like I said, mate, the Championship. Like if Moyes said it, that's the one who he wants to target young British players, and the Championship is full of talent. And if they turn in like Antonio, Cresswell, Bowen, Benrahma, when we see him. I think that's the way to go, to be honest.
I do, mate. At least with the Championship players, they're going to come in, give 100%, and they know, sort of like they know how lucky they are to be playing Premier League football. And I look at Vardy. Do you know what I mean? Vardy's the ultimate example of, the non-league footballer who's living the dream.
No, but everyone said it. We've been saying that for years, what we want to do, but I'm not saying Anderson. I think Anderson will come back a better player. I know he hasn't played for Porto yet, but I think going out in a different league, building his confidence up, and coming back, he'll be a great squad player for us to have next year. But no, like I said, mate, it's all positive, and realistically, I think we'll finish 10th. I think we'll finish bang in the middle. I reckon we'll be safe by February.
I predicted 11th. I thought 11th, and I would take 11th, to be honest with you, because it's a bit of progress, and I would take a boring season that's over by March, like you're saying. I'd take that all day long, mate, all day long.
Yeah. No, but like I said, I think it's a cut run, mate. If we get to the quarter-final or a semi-final again, I think when we're more higher up in the league, and if you think, we only need another couple more wins, then Moyes will. I'm not saying he doesn't take the FA Cup. I think he would love to win it as well, but I think he'll feel more confident of playing more first team.
Definitely, mate. One more question for you, mate. I forgot to ask it to James. Who now will win Hammer of the Year this early? Because I'll invite you back on again in a few months' time, obviously. But right now, if you was picking it,
only because not if over the whole season, I'm going to say Jared Bowen's going to win it overall. But now, at the moment, it's Masuaku.
Really? Not even Antonio, though?
No, because that's. I'm not saying that what he hasn't, but that's what you expect of him. That's his job. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not saying he hasn't done it. But I think Bowen's the one who gives Antonio the space, and I've never seen a winger track back for years.
The work rate's ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous. Sojek, Rice, they must do 12k every match. Do you know what I mean? And Fornals now covers some ground as well, too.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. Definitely, mate.
Cheers, Andy, mate. Thanks so much for coming on. Please come on again, mate. Please come on.
Will do. No worries, bud. Take care. See you soon.
Come on again. Cheers, mate. Take it easy. Okay, right. So if any of you guys want to come on, I'm going to go for about another sort of 20 minutes or so. It'd be really great to get you on. I'm going to go into the comments now. So let's go scroll back through. So GSB out says, I'm so happy with Moyes. Once he sorted out our defence, you saw him attack more in matches. I don't feel we are too good for him as a club. He's a mid-table manager and we are a mid-table club. Yeah, some stability, mate. That's what we need. Kent says, I reserve judgment till Fulham and Sheffield United is done because their teams will struggle with, teams we genuinely struggle with, and don't break those types of teams down. 100%, mate. 100%. The team is really balanced. Good left side, good right side. Nice spine down the middle. That's the way you build a good football team. He's doing well with what he's got. If any of you have seen Gonzo's video this morning, he sums it up quite nicely that he's done well with players that are not specifically his players, and they're improving as players. At times, Masuaku's crossing and long balls are very, very good. I'd play Benrahma up top, but anyone but lazy. Haller. Fashizi said, truthfully speaking, the fact that the big teams have European football in midweek is a huge benefit. Yeah, and definitely the fans are playing a huge thing. Haller is a statue. He really isn't. Sorry, he really is, ain't he, Tommy? He's lazy, just stands there spitting all the time. I feel Yarmolenko is no slower than Haller. Yarmolenko has more energy and is a better finisher. Yarmo would be better option up top than Haller. Plays very well as a number 9 for Ukraine. Yeah, I mentioned that, didn't I? A couple of just literally a few minutes ago. All right, peeps. Hi, Sean. Yeah, Tommy. And I'd even play Ben Rama over Haller. Give him a go. Just feel playing Haller will cost us. Definitely. Anyone else want to come on? Like I say, DM me on Twitter. I've got my phone right next to me. Look, all the messages are there. Anyone want to come on? You can come on. Rice would be crazy to move anywhere to play centre back. He's an amazing centre midfielder. And surely will enjoy playing there far more than a centre back. Yeah, I agree. I think he will go back to centre back potentially. You know, I'm talking when he's about 28, 29, and and the legs ain't quite there. But at the moment, centre is one of the best CDMs in the Premier League. Yeah, I've heard before. Rice doesn't really enjoy playing centre back. He wants to be involved in the goals as well. He wants to get attacking. Anderson played in the league for Porto and was slated for being so bad. Yeah, I forgot to mention that when Andy was on, actually. I did read that article, Tommy. Yeah, apparently, again, I think it was down to him not tracking back as well. Shock. So, yeah. Payet versus De Bruyne tomorrow. Marseille versus City in the Champions League. Wow, what a game. what two players there, two worldy of players. Listen, Demi, one of the best West Ham players to ever play for West Ham in terms of technical ability, and Kevin De Bruyne, my favourite player currently at the moment. So, yeah, I'll definitely be checking that one out, guys. Yeah, I don't know whether anyone else wants to come on, guys, but like I say, I agree with a lot of people. We look better as a team. We look balanced. Every player looks like they've got the right idea now. They actually know what they're doing. When subs come on, it can still be a bit shaky in terms of, David's in-game management. But, these are things that maybe he can learn over time. But there are some good things going on. There are some really, really good things going on at the moment. Ken Amma says, Irish Tommy, you're blocked on Twitter. Really? What is your name on Twitter, Tommy? And I will find you. There is a player in Haller needs playing right. Pellegrini playing him up front on his own. His own needs support. Hopefully Bowen and Benrahma can get closer. Yeah, I think so. Him and Diagano in pre-season, they looked really, really good, didn't they? Haller, and he was there for supply and he came alive. And there was a couple of games when last season with Bowen, Antonio, and Haller playing off him, they came alive. I'm just looking for you now, Tom. Bear with me, mate. All right, got you, mate. Got you. There we go. All right, there's the link, mate. If you want to come on, be nice to talk to you. Would love to come on, but I'm blocked on Twitter for some reason. I do not know why that was, mate. Hi from South Wales on Tuesday morning. Neil's such a great guy. So what a lie. Neil, here's a question for you. Are you originally from East London, like the London or UK area, and you've moved there? Or have you always lived in Australia and you're like a native Aussie? I will try and come on next time. I've got the kids that. Yeah, I was actually going to tweet you, Chris, actually, because I noticed you do a lot of stuff on Hammer's Chat. And, you always talk some really good stuff. And I would have liked to have talked to you, mate. But, yeah, next time. Gary says, I'm late. Gary, if you want to come on, anyone wants to come on, again, DM me on Twitter. I'm going to go for about another sort of 15, 20 minutes. Tommy should be coming on in a minute. Be great to chat to him. Wouldn't it be great to see Bowen make the England side? For me, he really stands a good chance. Yeah, definitely. He reminds me of Craig Bellamy. Really, really doggy. Constant work rate. Good finisher. The only thing that against him slightly is he's not blistering. I think if he was blistering pace, I think he would be real top. Like, I'm not saying he's not a top player, but I mean top. If he had that real killer pace, he would be like that next level. But yeah, works so hard. The only problem with old Jared is competition. You know, you're talking about England. Wingers, England have some of the best wingers in the world. Jadon Sancho, Sterling, obviously, probably England's most gifted player, Sterling. You know, Rashford is prone to drifting on the left if he was going to play Bowen left or right. I'm not sure. But that's the only problem for me, mate. There's some serious competition there. Right, so I'm waiting to see whether Tommy is going to come on. I have sent you the link, mate. So if you want to click on it and come on, please do. Because all I was doing was playing FIFA, guys, and I got a bit bored, you know. I couldn't be bothered playing the game no more, so I thought I'd come on and, you know, try and launch a new show. And so far, I've had 2 people on, which is brilliant. It's great talking to you guys. I did change the name on Twitter as well. Someone suggested it. I can't remember who it was. Suggested, you know, because they always say, like, why is there not 3 hammers on the show? Like, it's always usually only me and Paul. I did change the name. And, you know, it is now called the 3 hammers, 2 men, and 1 fan base, because you guys are the 3rd hammer, as I say. Andy Miles says, how's your FIFA go? Not bad, actually. Not bad. My team is actually really good. I'll tell you what, I'll quickly show you. Look, there you go. Look, that just proof that I was playing it just a minute ago. Look, I'll quickly show you guys what my team is looking like. And then you, for those of you who don't like FIFA, just ignore this little section. I'm just going to very quickly show you what my team looks like. I don't know whether you guys can see that there. Werner, Rodrigo, Bale, Son, Kevin De Bruyne, Havertz, Edison in goal, Joe Gomez. Because I don't know whether you guys see on Twitter, I got Mbappe in a pack and I went absolutely crazy. So, yeah. Right, Tommy's on. Here he is. Tommy, great to have you on the show, mate. Nice to meet you. Nice to put a face to a name. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, going well, Luke. Thanks. And you?
Yeah, how do you feel about West Ham this year, mate? Have positive or negative? How do you feel?
Pleasantly surprised, if I'm honest. I think, like everyone else, I was maybe expecting the worst, you know, given the start that we had. I felt like, you know, once we came through the Liverpool game at the end of October, that we'd very likely be in the relegation zone, potentially rock bottom. So I was feeling very pessimistic, and my mood didn't really improve after the Newcastle game. But we improved in the Arsenal game, and we're unlucky to lose that one. And obviously, then we went on this little run that, you know, has been unbelievable, really. I mean, it just came out of nowhere. I definitely didn't expect that we would turn Wolves over, let alone 4-0, and then to go to Leicester and win 3-0. You know, the amazing comeback against Tottenham, and then to hold City to a 1-1. So 8 points I didn't really expect, frankly. So a lot more optimistic now than I was a few weeks ago, no question.
Definitely, mate. More than a point a game, which, you know, is brilliant. You know, that's probably, I reckon when Moyes sat down at the beginning of the season and talked to the lads, he probably went, you know what, if we can get about 6 points, I'll be happy. We're probably 2 points ahead of what he predicted. Who's been your best player so far? Like, who's your stick out players for West Ham this year?
Again, I'm going to say, I have to say Cresswell and Masuaku. I mean, look, I expected Souček to be very good. I expected Bowen to be good. I knew what we'd get from Fornells, from Rice. Antonio obviously has done very well, but we knew that, you know, he was already doing well post-lockdown, the end of last season. So we kind of knew what we were getting with all those players. Agbana as well, of course, just a rock at the back. So we knew really what we were getting with those players. But for me, the change of formation has absolutely transformed Masuaku and Cresswell. It just suits them down to the ground. I mean, you know, left back was a position that we were all dreading really this season, and we were all crying out for a left back to be signed, because Masuaku, as we know, just cannot defend, and Cresswell just didn't have the legs for it anymore to get up and down the pitch. But the change of formation has just made them really this season. You know, Cresswell now, he's able to kind of make those little runs just inside our opponent's half and allow Masuaku to do all the running down to the touchline. And Cresswell can just hang back, you know, get the ball fed back to him, put in those really good deep crosses, because he has always had a good delivery, Cresswell. And then if we lose the ball, he doesn't have the whole length of the pitch to run back. He's just got to pop back into his position.
Cover each other. There's not as much pressure on that left side now because, again, like you say, Ogbonna's such a beast as well, standing there at centre back to help him as well if needed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And there's that kind of extra insurance behind there. And as well as that, just in general, I mean, the formation is really working for us defensively because, as you know, we conceded, I think, was it 63 goals last season. We were very leaky.
We had positive goal difference,
Yeah, I know. It's amazing that we're +4 goal difference already, considering the run of games we've had. To have a +4 goal difference with that run of games just goes to show like that. For me, I mean, the big thing has been the formation. It's completely transformed our fortunes.
How much credit do you give to Moyes and the coaching team? Like, where do you stand with them now? Like, was you obviously most West Ham fans didn't want Dave in, but where do you stand now with Dave, and how much credit do you give him for the performances?
Well, you have to give him basically all the credit, really. I mean, it's not like personnel-wise we've transformed the personnel on the pitch. So, we've largely got the same players on the field as we had on the field last season. Sofal now is a right wing back, but other than that, I mean, the players are all familiar to us from last season. So it's not like he's bought in a bunch of really good players that have transformed us. It's clearly down to the coaching on the training ground, the switch up in the formation. I also think a huge factor this season that I've noticed is our conditioning seems to be absolutely brilliant.
Very fit.
If you remember, we don't have to go back very far to when, Antonio would be struggling after an hour or 65 minutes, and we'd be saying, geez, he's out on his feet, we should be taking him off. But among other players, there were other players that were kind of struggling late on in games. But now our players seem to have no real problem going for 90 minutes. And I think that's been a huge bonus this season as well. I think that's played a huge part in our turnaround. I think that conditioning clearly is far better than it ever was under Pellegrini or Bilic.
I think it's really good on a mental side, that as well. I think if you can trust your body to run for 90 minutes, that's how you end up getting those Tottenham results, because you can go for 90 minutes. And you're not sort of conserving too much energy because you've got the fitness level. Definitely, mate.
Yeah, and of course it helps as well because last season we did have an issue with conceding goals in the last 15 minutes. We were just too open. We couldn't cover the ground anymore. But, I mean, obviously it's helped hugely with that as well. We're not conceding late goals like we used to be.
Definitely, mate. Here's a question for you. So, Liverpool game on Saturday. Any changes for you? Is there anything you would change to the team?
Well, I think there may be one enforced change.
Mikel, yeah.
I think Mikel might not be available. I actually don't know the exact situation there. I haven't been able to keep up today, but from what I'm seeing, it's likely he won't be available. So it would just be the one change for me. So it would be just who goes up top instead of him.
And who would that be for you? Who would you put in?
I'd play Yarmolenko.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I, to Andy just a minute ago.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Haller, I have to say. I don't think he's nearly mobile enough. He doesn't cover the ground.
He doesn't press.
Doesn't press. He always looks to me like he's sulking, if I'm honest. Now, I don't know what his mindset is when he's on the pitch. Maybe he's fine mentally, but he just doesn't give me a very good vibe when I see him play. He doesn't really get involved enough. Doesn't make the runs. I really noticed when he came on against City that he just doesn't make any runs. He doesn't give you an option, doesn't give you an out ball. He just kind of stands with his facing the play and just waits for someone to lump the ball. And he seems to want every ball right bang on his chest or at his feet. He's not willing to just turn and go. And
Drogba used to take his chest, turn and go. He hasn't got that.
He doesn't, no.
He's the best lone man ever, like the best lone striker ever, Drogba.
Yeah, for me, Haller is just too easy to defend against in those situations. In other games, Haller might be fine, where we have a lot more possession, where we can press up on our opponents, get support up to him. But against the likes of Liverpool, I think we're not going to have much possession, and we're going to have to rely on a lot of kind of counter-attacking and set-piece situations, and I just don't think he's suited to that. I'd rather have someone up there with a bit of movement, bit of pace, a little bit of trickery, and a good finisher, and that's Yarmolenko, because he plays there, although we've deployed him really as a right winger. He plays up top for Ukraine. He's their second highest goal scorer behind Shevchenko all time. So
which
he's
is,
their number 9. So he understands. Yeah, he understands the role. He knows what he's doing up there. I know he's not exactly lightning, but he's not a tortoise either. He has a little bit of pace about him, and he will.
If he gets a chance on that, there's a great chance it's going in.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a really good strike on him, and he's got a bit of skill as well. I mean, he played a lovely ball to Sofal that led to the own goal from Sanchez against Tottenham. A lovely little reverse pass in behind. So he's got that kind of range of passing about him as well. He's a tricky little player. So and especially as Van Dijk is out, we could have some joy there. So I'd like to see Yarmolenko up there, and obviously, look, it'll be really interesting to see what Moyes does. I suspect he doesn't particularly fancy Haller either.
I don't think he trusts him at all.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised to see someone else get a chance up there. I mean, the only one really would be Yarmolenko. I wouldn't like to see Bowen moved up there. I thought that was it was a disaster actually against City, and almost cost us the game because his work rate out there on the wing is phenomenal, and Yarmolenko can't match Bowen's kind of work rate and defensive abilities. So I thought that was a big mistake. So I wouldn't want to move Bowen up there either. So I'm hoping to see Yarmolenko.
Last question for you, mate, before I let you go. Predictions, mate. What do you predict for Saturday?
It's going to be a very tough game. It's not often we get any joy at Anfield. I know we had that amazing day early in the season, 15-16 season. We somehow managed to beat Liverpool 3-0 away, but
incredible.
That's about as rare as unicorn poo, isn't it? So, it's going to be very difficult to get any kind of result. But given how we've been performing, and I don't think Liverpool are quite at it like they were last season. They look a bit more vulnerable to me, and of course they got tonked by Villa. So I think Liverpool can be got at this season more than last season, and with Van Dijk out, I'm going to back our boys because we're difficult to score on now. They're not going to just run through us. So I'm going to back us to nick a point again.
I'd love to see it, mate, and I hope you're right. Mate. I'll let you go, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. Please come on again. So if you see us tweet out that we're doing a live show, please come on again, mate. Absolute pleasure to have you on, mate.
Yeah, I get the notifications on my phone. I watch every show, and you always see me in the comments.
It's great to finally put a face to the chat, mate. Great to see you, mate.
Yes, it was great to come on and have a chat with you. Yeah, so I'll definitely come back on again. Cheers, Luke.
Definitely, mate. Take it easy, mate. Okay, so back in the comments, I'm going to go through the comments very, very quickly before I wrap this up. So Rice making captain on 150 grand a week and a 3-year deal on the number 6 shirt. I like the 150 grand a week. I like the 3-year deal, but that number 6 shirt, that has to stay in retirement. That when that the word legend banded around, there's certain numbers and players, and I'm talking in sport in general, which that shirt should never come out of retirement. One of them is the number 6 West Ham shirt. Another one is the 23 Michael Jordan shirt. And there's a couple more, I think the Maradona 10 shirt is not available, is it, at Naples or somewhere like that? And the Maldini shirt as well. There's certain shirts that, especially the number 6 West Ham shirt, for how synonymous that is to English football, let alone just West Ham. So that's the only thing I wouldn't do, Gary. Neil says he was born in South Australia, but lived in Lambourne End in Essex. How you getting on, FIFA? I did show you. This England squad right now is unbelievable. Hard to get in apart from our defenders. I think retired Titus Bramble could get in the squad right now. Wow, Titus Bramble, what a superstar. What an absolute superstar. I originally was from Abbey Arms, so know your school well. Abbey Arms, I used to live Port Crescent, if you know that, next to Cumberland Fields. There was a pub there called I think it was called Cumberland Arms as well, actually. You got the Cumberland Road, and then there's like this little bit where there's a sweet shop, and then Port Crescent's like this little sort of walkway. You wouldn't know it was there unless you live in the Abbey. G'day, Neil. Hi, Cresswell. Moyes believes he can get a point from every game. It's rubbing on the squad. Definitely, mate. Definitely. And I think, look at the leaders I'll talk about leaders on the pitch, leaders in the dressing room. Stuart Pearce and Kevin Nolan, amazing captains and amazing leaders. Cresswell and Masuaku a couple of years back was costing us, but right now they're perfect. We have cover in every position. Maybe we were wrong. It's hard to keep big squad hungry. The only position I'm a little bit nervous still about is striker, purely because we're sitting here. The guys that have come on, thankfully, have said the same thing. If Mickey is injured the weekend, you're looking at either Haller, who we're very Marmite on him at the moment, or playing Yarmolenko up front. So that's the only position for me, Gary, where still we need to be looking in January. That was a really good point, Gary, especially considering we never go far in the Cups. Really, really good chat today, guys. And thanks for the 3 people that did come on. Noble needs to be the Cup captain with Dek and Souček with him. See how far we go. We've got a new fitness coach, I believe. Massive part of this plan. You can see it. Interesting coach. When did the new fitness coach come in? Not sure. Pierce mentioned chief scout, so maybe Moyes has started putting everything in place. I don't really rate Haller finishing unless it's hand to on a plate. I honestly don't rate him. He scuffs a lot of shots. He's one of them. He either scuffs it in, or he scores like one of them worldy goals. Like was it against Watford? He scored that worldy goal last year, like a bit of a scissor kick. Good points, Tommy. I was desperate for Lanzini to come on Saturday. It would have been nice to have him come on. A bit of a ball carrier. I don't think anyone else is going to come on, but it doesn't matter too much. I'm just going to go through the comments now. I agree. I'll go with Yarmolenko and not Ben Rama. I can see Haller not running in training, and all we know what Moyes says about running. 4-0 West Ham with a Masuaku hat-trick. Chuck that on, mate. You pay your mortgage if it comes in. I believe we'll get a result against Liverpool, and they'll enjoy playing us. The Pool have the best forward players in the Premier League. Going to be a tough game. Yeah, Salah just looks absolutely ruthless at the moment. He really does. That left foot, again, I use the word wand quite a lot, but that is an absolute wand, his left foot. To bring back the number 6 is very disrespectful to Moore's legacy. Yeah, I wouldn't bring the number 6 back. I really, really wouldn't. What we got here? Hey, mate, we're back. Went to Cumberland Old School. That's New Road, I think. The one next to McDonald's, you mean? On the Barking Road? That one. That's the same one I went, mate. I would like to see Coventry given a chance. I'd like to see, again, it's hard now because obviously Soufal's coming, but I was talking yesterday, wasn't I, about Ashby and Alessi. This old West Ham that I used to know, back in sort of the late 90s, early 2000s, because we sort of used to, back in them days, be sort of safe by about the March time. That's when Joe Coles, Carricks, Defoe's, and people like that started coming in and getting their chance. So if we are in that position in March where we're safe, that's where you might start seeing your Ashbys, your Alessis, even your Connor Coventries, like you're saying, Nathan Hollins, maybe. That's where we might start seeing those players. If we can get safer early, then you can take more gambles because it's not so, so dangerous. Josh King would have come in very handy this weekend. We didn't sign him. Definitely Irish, Tommy. We signed Josh King in January and we're pushing top 8. There's a shout for that, mate. 1,000,000%. I used to live Roxy Avenue, Chapel Heath 65 years ago. Now I live in Preston. Don't like to say it, but I think Spurs have a better football. Yeah. I don't like praising Spurs, but, once Bale gets fit and starts getting the sharpness back, him, Son and Kane are ridiculous. Ridiculous. It was in Prince Regent's Lane when I was much older than you. See, it went from Prince Regent's Lane to Barking Road, and now it's gone back to Prince Regent Lane. Isn't that crazy? Because I worked there as well when I was when I was 25. I used to work at Cumberland as well, so I went there as a kid. Then I worked there, and then obviously I work in my school that I work now. But yeah, Moyes wants to get in Europe this season. Believe that, and why not? Hope so, mate. Hope so. This is what the whole part of this show was today. Is it time to start believing on us really, really early? And football is a very fickle game, but we'll see. Jose Mourinho is building something serious at Spurs. They'll win a trophy, in my opinion. Ugh. If they ever win the league, I don't think I could ever watch football again. That Champions League final a couple of years ago, the Liverpool-Tottenham one, I aged so much in that season. I remember Ajax game, when they came back and won that game. I didn't like football anymore. For a few months, I couldn't watch football anymore. The hatred I have for that football team is ridiculous. And the fact that they come out, I know, there's some people in the chat probably now that will say, oh, they're an English team. You should be supporting the English team. No, not them. That's the only team I won't support in when they're in Europe. And I don't particularly support Chelsea as well, because it's always been the Frank Lampard thing. But the year that Tottenham got to that final, Jesus Christ, I hated football that season. Love this show, Luke. Really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks a lot, Andy, mate. A pleasure to have you on. Anyway, unless any comments come in, I'm going to wrap it up there. What I'm going to do with this show, guys, because I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm not free in the week most times, and obviously we do film our podcast, so we will still do the podcast. I will try and do this on the weekends. So Saturday or Sunday, sort of that 12, 1 o'clock time. And, hopefully we can sort of maybe use it as build up to the matches, and or even have opinions. Say if we film on a Sunday, it will be reactions to the matches, and you guys can come on. Obviously, the more you see people come on, the more confident you will feel and not be scared of me. I know it can be quite intimidating. I get intimidated. I've been on Hammer's Chat. I've been on the boys from Claret and Blue TV. I've been on Russ's channel. I get nervous, and I've been doing YouTube for bloody 5 years, and I still get a bit like, oh my God, are we live? Oh God, I better make sure I've actually know what I'm talking about. And it ain't Paul that I'm talking West Ham to. I'm talking to people that might know a bit more about West Ham than me, and I need to come across like I'm some amazing pundit like Trevor Brooking or something like that. So, but please don't be scared to come on, guys. If you want to come on, listen. At the end of the day, we're all the same. We're fans at the end of the day, and that's all it's about. Do you know what I mean? March safe, and we'll be chasing Champions League. Let's hope so. Don't worry, they always choke. Mate, why don't you join up with JP every now and then? I do, mate. I do. He's been on a few times. I've been on his show. You know what it is? What's tough for me? Usually, my wife works on weekends. So doing the live stream when you've got a 4-year-old daughter who wants to play makeup and hairdressers with you is a bit tough, and I don't particularly want my daughter on camera as well. But yeah, if there was a weekend that came up and I could go on a live stream with JP, I would love to. If you guys would have had a camera on me when that goal went in, the Lanzini goal a week or so ago, mate, it probably would have started trending on Twitter, like how Nicky's one did, and when the geezer on Hammer's Chat was swinging the T-shirt around. Mate, the noise I made, only dogs could hear. It was that high-pitched that the people downstairs in my masonette must have thought someone was getting hurt or I was beating my wife up or something, because the noise was like... I'll tell you, mate, that is one of the reasons I don't do live stream as well, because I can't trust my language. My language is so bad when I'm watching West Ham games, and just I get so annoyed and so frustrated. I don't trust myself. Luke, you're welcome on any time. Cheers, JP, mate. We all made that noise, mate. We were going to do the City away watch along last season, but it got cancelled due to the rain. Listen, when I've got a chance, I will definitely try to get on. We'll play it by ear. There's so many games left of the season to do it. I will definitely try to get on at some point, mate. I would love to do one of those live watch-alongs, but I can't promise that my language will be as clean as it is on this channel. On this channel, I behave myself because I need to be a role model to the pupils that I teach. Was it like Gary Neville at Barcelona? A little bit, mate. I was jumping around. I was going, have that, you this and that and that. And I was, for some reason, I was out of my chair and I walked right up to the telly. Like, when I'll tell you, a goal that I went like that for, one of the last goals I went like that for was Matthew Everton against Ipswich, the semi-final goal, where I was working in Mallorca at the time, and I just kept walking towards the screen. My legs just had a life of their own. It was just, I'm with Matthew Everton to like this big, massive screen that was like the size of a whole like room in a house, and it's just amazing. Can you imagine the limbs if the fans? Oh, mate, it would have been ridiculous. I was there, the Tottenham 3-0 game when Ravel Morrison announced himself. Mate, I thought my head was going to explode that day. It was just insane. What was it? Winston Reid, Vazte, and Ravel Morrison. The noise, I have never, ever experienced that level of noise in a football stadium before. That was insane. So, yeah, to have been there when that went in, wow. Just wow. Andy Miles laughing. My language is never clean with a watch along, mate. Like I say, you will see a different Luke. It won't be squeaky clean Luke on a watch along. Let's just say that it will be a completely different Luke. There's a video of me actually when I got interviewed for West Ham Fan TV. I've only ever been interviewed once, and it was I believe it was the first ever game. First Premier League game, we just won 1-0 against Bournemouth at the London Stadium, and people were in shock going, wow, Luke just said the C word, Luke just said the F word. So yeah, if you guys ever want to see me swear, try and dig that video out. It's the West Ham Bournemouth 1-0 game. I think it was Antonio that scored the first win in the Premier League. I still enjoy the Tottenham fan channel watch along so far. They are, mate. We all know the Tottenham fans, do you know what I mean? They're such a bunch, aren't they? Like, they're so feel like they need to be rewarded, feel like they're so high and mighty and such this good club. They're a fantastic football team, but let's get it right. You ain't won nothing yet. Do you know what I mean? Tommy, I would have had a heart attack, especially with my diet. Liquid diet, says Irish Tommy. All right, guys, I've been going on for an absolute hour. I've had so much fun talking to you lot, I have to say. JP says, like me at home. After the Brighton game, definitely. Right. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, I always film at really weird times because I just get inspired. It just comes on and I just think, you know what, let's go and form a show. I know most people, you know, a lot of the reason why I get invited onto quite a few shows, actually. I get invited onto Russ's show to do the quizzes, you know, Hammer's Chat and things like that. One of the main reasons is that we don't do our shows at like 8, 9 o'clock, which I would love to do at that time because obviously I know more people at home and more people can watch then. It's because of my daughter. You know, my daughter, we put her to bed sort of 7:45, 7:30, 7:45. And anyone who's got a kid will know once they're asleep, you want them to stay asleep. So me being, you know, loud and getting excited about West Ham and having banter with you lot, that's the only reason we do our shows at slightly earlier time. Right, what we got here? I was there that day, Luke. Morrison Spurs fans were gone with 15 minutes to go, and I was at Antonio win at the lane like you were pumped for the tracks. Tottenham fans are so arrogant for a club who don't win trophies. They're true, very true. Feel free to join me on Wednesday. I might do, mate. I might just do that. I'll see how I feel. Can you not put her up for adoption? Sadly not, mate. Sadly not. Once you have one, you have to keep them, sadly. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Massive, massive thank you to James, Tommy, and Andy for coming on, being my first guests on, you know, and it's so great to actually talk to you guys. This is what I want to start doing with this channel now. We do our podcast where we interact with you in the chat. You know, I do my All the Gear, No Idea, where, again, it's just me interacting. But to actually have you guys on and to actually have a little debate with you and a little discussion with you guys and find out where you guys actually lie and for you guys to have a voice on the channel is the whole point of doing YouTube. You know, I don't do this for money. If I did it for money, I'm a bit of a mug because for 5 years, I think I've earned about 60 quid from this channel. So what's that? 60 quid over 5 years? Not a lot of money. So we're not doing it for money, you know. I do this for joy. I do this because I love talking about West Ham. And you know what? You know, another reason I do this, one of the main reasons I started this channel is that last season at Upton Park, I wanted, when I'm an old man, to be able to look back on them vlogs and look back on them match reviews and the old podcast and say, yeah, that was a good year. And that's the main reason we started doing this thing. And like I say, now it's about you guys, having a chat with you guys, getting your opinions over, and you listening to me talk a load of bollocks, really. There you go. I dropped one in for you. Anyway, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Hit that subscribe button. Get us up there. Come on, let's get to 4,000 now. We've hit 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. You know, the sky's the limit for this channel. Let's see how we get on. Keep believing. Let's go.